Hey there guys, and welcome to Tech Engineered. Today we're going to be talking about 5 things to consider when buying a laptop. So let's get started. The first thing that you should really consider is the operating system of the laptop, because that will kind of guide you in where you need to buy the laptop from and who you need to buy the laptop from. So basically you have 3 options of operating systems on your laptop. You can either go with Windows, which is kind of just standard. Most people go with Windows because it's kind of the best fit for the majority of people and it has the most applications and stuff on it. You can go with Apple's Mac OS, or you can go with Linux. Now, I'm going to make another 5 things to consider on operating systems themselves, but real quick, we'll just kind of talk about each individually to kind of give you an idea of what they're best used for. So Windows is mainly used for content creators that are going to be using the Adobe Suite or just any other editing software like that for picture editing, audio editing, and any of those. It can be used for just standard home use using Microsoft Office and internet browsers. It has the widest selection of games for PC gaming, so if you're building a gaming PC, there's really no other option other than Windows. You can go to Linux. Some people argue that you'll get better frame rates in Linux because it's a lighter weight operating system, but not really, because you don't get DirectX and stuff like that runs very well on Windows, because DirectX is made by Microsoft, and also you just don't get the game selection. You can't play every game that you want on Linux. So definitely Windows is the best for gaming. Now, Mac OS is pretty good for content creators. I would say that they've kind of restricted it to where it's not good for professional or prosumer content creators, and it's better for just kind of your average person if they're going to be doing content creation. A lot of the tools that they've added to it are pretty nice, but still, yeah, their editing softwares and just the operating system in general is pretty limited for a professional or prosumer content creator. So if you're just kind of an amateur, macOS might be good for you. It's very user-friendly, so it's also kind of the highest end of the standard user operating system. If you're just needing a computer to write papers on, browse the web, if you go with an Apple computer and get macOS, then that'll be kind of a really expensive choice, but it will be a pretty good choice because that operating system is very polished and very user-friendly. So if you're not good with computers, macOS is probably pretty good for you. Now Linux doesn't have a whole lot of uses for your general user, but it does have a lot of uses for professionals and mainly for programming. Linux is a very good operating system to program in, and really if you don't know about Linux as a programmer yet, you kind of need to, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the plus sides of it. If you need to use Linux on your laptop or desktop, you're going to know why you need to use Linux. So basically, if you don't know anything about it, don't go near it. Now, moving on to the screen size. The screen size will kind of determine the general size of the laptop, since everything's kind of based around how big the screen is. Really just kind of figure out what fits best. If you have a backpack with a laptop pocket, you might want to check and see how big of a computer you can fit in that laptop pocket so you don't get one that's too big. But basically, I would recommend somewhere around 13 to 15 inches is kind of the best range. If you go below 13 inches, it gets a little bit too small for my tastes. You can go down to an 11-inch laptop or a 12-inch laptop, and you can go all the way up to a 20-inch laptop if you really wanted to. And really, I feel like the sweet spot is around 13 to 14 inches, so I'd try and stay around there. And yeah, that'll be pretty good. If you need a really big screen, if you have trouble seeing or something like that, you can definitely go bigger. Up to a 17-inch isn't that bad. It's just, I think the sweet spot is at around 13 to 14 inches. The next thing that you need to consider is the internal specs of the computer to make sure that they meet your needs for whatever workloads you're going to be putting it through. If you need help deciding with the internal specs, you can check out the playlist that I'll put in the cards at the top right-hand corner of the screen, where you will be able to see all the other videos from the series 5 things to consider. And those videos are going to be over processors, RAM, all of that stuff to help you decide what you need there. And that'll be a big help, but yeah, basically just make sure that the specs will meet your needs and kind of research that and make sure that you're good to go with the internal specs that you order. The next thing to consider is the I/O and kind of the just general input-output user interface on the laptop. Make sure it has all of the buttons and switches that you need and make sure that it has all of the ports that you need and enough of them. So if you're going to be doing anything special where you need like a display port or an HDMI, make sure that those are on there. If you want a USB Type-C, make sure you get a laptop with that on there, and just kind of look and see what connectors it has and make sure that it meets all your needs with the inputs and outputs. The next thing to consider is the kind of color and looks of the laptop, because you want to look fly with your new laptop. And also a laptop is kind of a just general expression of you, because generally we use laptops out in public and you don't want to have like a My Little Pony laptop if you're not a brony. So you want your laptop to kind of fit your own style and make sure that it generally looks good, because there are some laptops out there that don't really look that good, and that might be okay for you. You might want to go for function over form, but I think having a good looking laptop should be the last thing that you consider, and just get one that kind of fits your style so that you enjoy using the laptop just around other people, because you're going to be doing that quite a bit with a laptop. If you guys are in the market for a new laptop and you're looking for something around the $250 range, I did do a review on the HP Stream 2017 model, which I will put up at the cards in the top right hand corner of the screen. You can check out that video, and there is a link in the description of that video to buy that laptop, so go check that out. That might be a good laptop for you, and you can see what my thoughts on it were. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like on it. If you like the content on this channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have advice for future content that I can make, leave that in the comment section below. And make sure that you check out the videos on the end screen. That's going to happen right now.